Welcome to Rabbit Hole Reviews on this July 4th edition. So what we're looking at here is the final collection of parts that's going to go downrange. This is a follow-up video to the video I posted last month where I unboxed and we had a sneak peek on the Yugoslav M64 parts kit that was sold to me by Atlantic Firearms. Side note, that was sold to me as a matching parts kit. Well, once I got into the kit itself, it was clearly not matching. Not a huge deal. I ended up using very few of the parts from that kit. So what you're seeing here, a lot of it are substitutions. And in my view, they're better quality. And in most cases, they're brand new parts. So I think that's going to make for a better build. And anyway, the parts kit was unmatching when I started, and now it is still unmatching, but at least the parts are in better condition. So yeah, I wanted to shoot this video before the fireworks started ruining my audio. So let's get into it. So the M64 Yugo, of course, for those of you who don't know, is basically the predecessor to the M70 series. The main difference being the M64 used a milled receiver, not the most economical option when you're cranking out millions of Kalashnikovs. Obviously, milled receivers cost more, and it's just they're heavier, and insert whatever reason why you don't like milled receiver AKs. I have a bunch of milled AKs, but I don't have any milled Yugoslav AKs, so that was why I bought this kit, because I want to add it to my collection. And what you see here, I'm actually pretty happy with. I think this is going to be a phenomenal build when I do finally get it back, maybe in 2026, question mark. But yeah, that's the beauty of it. You get all the parts together and then you just mail it off and you wait. And hopefully when it comes back, it'll be a nice rifle. I'll take that out to the range. We'll zero it, we'll dial it in, we'll test it for accuracy, look at the quality of the build, and see if that's something you want to get into. So without further ado, let's get into the parts as quickly as we can. We don't want to make this a drawn-out video. The first thing I had to source, well, which ended up being the last thing actually, but the main part you have to source on a parts kit is a replacement receiver. So in this case, the receiver in the center of the screen here is made by Tortort. Very happy with this 2+ pound block of machined steel. The workmanship, I think, is amazing on this. This is going to be phenomenal core part. I actually picked this up yesterday, so this is the final part that I needed. I've been sourcing everything else as we went along. Not really going to get into the details of it. I mean, it's a milled receiver AK. Makes construction on their part fairly easy. There's not a whole lot of rivets other than the trigger guard, magazine catch. But yeah, that you can see where the weight of the rifle, where a lot of that comes from. And very happy with Tortort. I ended up buying this. I had a coupon that I used, not related to the manufacturer, but I ended up paying about $280, maybe $300 with transfer for the receiver. So I ended up getting a good deal on that. Normally they're not that inexpensive. The second thing you'll notice is the stock set on these rifles. The original one, which I'll actually bring off camera, coming from the right to left. This is the original buttstock. You see I didn't even degrease it 100%. I still have to do that. The condition wasn't that great, so I decided to use a new old stock M64 stock that I already had. This is not serialized. It hasn't been drilled before. New old stock. It's brand new elm. It's going to really make the rifle pop. I hate to use that expression, but I had this wood laying around, and the factory wood was just from the kit was just not good. So here we are, brand new wood. So let's see. The gas tube is a new old stock M64 gas tube that I had, and so this is not serial numbered, so it doesn't really conflict with anything. And of course, I've already transferred the wood from the new old stock set to that gas tube. So that's completely new. This pistol grip came with this new stock set. I did use the old pistol grip that came in the kit on a different rifle. It was missing its ferrule, so I had to go buy a ferrule, which wasn't cheap. The ferrule, if you don't know, is this little top metal bracket on the top of the pistol grip. When they demilled that kit, they must have lost the ferrule. It must have popped off. So that was one of the parts not included in the kit. Also, the original screws from the original stock were also missing, so I had to buy some rather expensive replacement screws for the stock, but at least they are new old stock, brand new, so I'm not going to have any issues there. For 922R, I went with the LBE G3 trigger, so those 3 core parts are going to get swapped out. I am going to use some new old stock hammer and trigger springs that I had on a kit. This is a parts. This is like a replacement kit. I'm going to use salvage the springs out of this kit, which are factory, and have brand new springs put in the new build. And let's see what else. The safety selector. This is also a new old stock part, not from the kit. I'm going to use this brand new piece here. I had that part. Retainer plate from AK Builder. That's going to be swapped in. And let's see, what else? Oh, one of the parts, which luckily I had a replacement for, it was the gas block. So the gas block on the parts kit, the gas block itself wasn't an issue, but the ladder sight on the top was pitted. Or even after you refinish it, you're going to see a lot of pitting. So I have this new old stock gas block with sight, so he'll just glue that to match like he's done on some other builds I had. And so you're getting a brand new gas block. And also the barrel. Of course, the barrel doesn't come with these kits anymore, unfortunately. So, and I don't know if you'd really want an original Yugo barrel. They're not chrome lined, and they're usually shot out. So this is a barrel I got for about 220 bucks from AK Builder. Very happy with it. Chrome lined, so it's an upgrade to the original rifle. I think this barrel is going to shoot really well. I think this rifle in general is going to be a phenomenal shooter, but that's just me having hope, which is, you know what they say about hope. So another part that's going to be used from the original kit is this top cover. It does not match the rest of the kit. It didn't match the kit to begin with, so it's not really any loss, but this is an excellent condition part. We're definitely going to reuse that. From the old receiver, which was saw cut, I have to salvage some parts. I won't take this one out of the bag because it's still kind of slimy. What's going to get salvaged out of the old receiver is going to be the lower tang. That's going to have to be rivet removed and installed on the Tortort. Obviously, the sling swivel is going to have to get swapped out. The dust cover catch is going to have to get swapped out, and then this trigger guard assembly and magazine catch assembly are going to get swapped out. So the rest of it's going in the trash, of course. So I needed to hang on to this for those replacement parts. Oddly enough, if you look on the Tortort receiver, on the left side, there should be a cutout or some provision to mount the sling. So I'm going to have the builder machine that out so he can install the sling swivel. I don't know how that's going to work. Someone in the comment section, correct me if I'm wrong on that, but it looks like that's something I'm going to need to do. Let's take a look. If you look, yeah, there's definitely goes through the receiver. So that's going to have to get a little bit of tweaking there. The recoil assembly, that's original. It's not serial numbered. Doesn't really matter if it was or not, but it's excellent condition, so we're going to reuse that. Bolt carrier group, good condition. No real issues there. I wanted to reuse that. Didn't want to spend the money to get an unserialized bolt and bolt carrier group. These two match each other, but they're not going to match the rest of the rifle, which is what it is. This is not going to have any collector value. This is going to be just a conversation piece and a shooter to me. Hopefully a shooter. I want to put a lot of rounds through this one. Let's see. This part over here. Front sight block. I have some replacement pins for them to drive in. Brand new gas block, front sight block pins. And the muzzle nut is a brand new unit as well. I have a bunch of these Yugoslav muzzle nuts, so I'll put a new muzzle nut on there. Very happy with the condition of this part as well. So that's one of the original pieces. And rear sight block. That's going to get reused. Again, this is in the Ziploc bag because it's still a little bit not quite grease-free. Very happy with this part here. That's all going to get swapped out. Doesn't have the Craigie marking on the rear sight block. This is one of the guns that doesn't have it, which is what it is. I'm not that concerned about it. And the lower handguard retainer, that's an original part. That's going to get used. It was in perfect condition. So let's see, what else? Are we running out of parts already? I think that's it. Let's see what else we have. New set of rivets. Now this is for a stamp gun, but he's still going to need the rivets for the trigger guard. So this is what they're there for. So he has brand new rivets to install when he demills the receiver on the old kit. And I think that's about it. We're going to do the retainer plate. If we haven't already discussed that, that's going to get swapped in there. That's pretty much it. This is what's going to go out in the mail in a couple of days. Oh yeah, the cleaning rod, that's original to the kit, so we use that. So basically, the parts that I used that are original to the kit are the bolt carrier group, the recoil spring, the top cover, the front and rear sight blocks, and the associated small parts from the old receiver. Everything else, the stock set, the receiver, the barrel, the gas tube, the gas block, everything is going to get swapped out. The safety selector, those are all new. And then, of course, 922R parts. So I would say we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7 parts from the kit originally that are going to be used. Everything else is going to be repurposed for something else. So when you get these parts kits, take a second look at them, make sure that they are matching. To me, it ended up not being a big deal. I've ordered a ton of stuff from Atlantic. I don't consider myself getting burned on the deal. But clearly, if they sell you a matching parts kit and they send you a non-matching parts kit, with some of the parts being a little damaged, that's an issue, right? So they definitely want to take a look at that. Not throwing any shade on Atlantic, but it's like everything else, it's your due diligence. So some of that falls on you. But this rifle, I think, is going to be a nice addition. And I look forward to, waiting about 8 months for this thing to come back. So when it does, you will definitely see it on the channel. And so without going too far into this, I want to keep the video short. Let me know in the comments section what you think about something like this. It ended up being not particularly inexpensive. The stock set was $180. The barrel was $225. I had to replace a few other small parts. And then, of course, the kit. And then, of course, the cost of the build. You can buy a new off-the-rack Yugo for much less than what this kit's going to end up costing. But you're going to get something a little different, something that they don't make anymore. I wish they made these rifles. I wish the new Zastava USA would import some of these M64s. I know they're not going to. It's not in their catalog anymore. They probably don't even have the tooling to make these. So this is a conversation piece and hopefully a good shooter. You're not going to have things like side rail, optic ramp mounts or anything like that. It's straight iron sights. And yeah, so that's all I've got for this episode. Let me know what you guys think. Would you waste your time with a big pile of parts that you have to swap parts out with and then send it off to a builder and wait 6 or 8 months? Is that something you guys would really be interested in doing? That's something I'm interested in doing. So yeah, this has been just a quick update. It's like a part 2 to the unboxing that I did last month. So until next time, this has been Rabbit Hole Reviews.